Welcome to Knit One, Heart 2,
episode 66.
Yay! I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie on Ravelry and Penny Winnie 2 on Spark People and other various venues.
Welcome to the second episode of Kids Being Home for the Summer.
Yep. And we're a little early this week because I have Wheels Up at 0500 hours tomorrow morning.
Yeah, not me.
Yeah.
The good news is I was supposed to work tonight. I'm not. I'm working tomorrow night instead. She scheduled two of us on for tonight.
Oh, so that's cool.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not going to change my schedule that much. So, let's see. We already said our names.
We have 66 people on the Rav group.
Oh, really? Wow, we've lost a lot of members.
We have 922 members on the
What
Rav
happened
group
that we lost
today in the 66th episode. Sorry, I'm having a rough day today. FYI.
Just a reminder that we're winding down on our Show Your Strands Off Knit Along. It ends on June 30th. We will lock the thread at that time and pull a winner for our next episode in July.
Yep.
Which we should still be able to do even though July 4th will be, because it will be like July 3rd or something.
Yeah, we'll just do it on, and I can do it whenever because I won't have my kids back until the 15th. So
lucky you.
Yes.
Unfortunately, I will still have
and
my kids.
I'm just going to tell you right front, I deserve this vacation very much.
I'll probably just have one because Zachary's in summer school.
Yeah.
So I'll jump in. I guess it's my turn, right?
Yes, I think you were first this week.
So I told you I was going to start a sock. I told you I was going to do it in Blue Moon Fiber Arts Heavyweight. I did. Didn't look good. Too heavy. Now I've done socks in worsted weight, but the heavyweight Blue Moon didn't seem to have the stretch.
Yeah.
That I'm used to. So what I did do is I started a generic toe-up sock with Lorna's Laces, Sport Mate, and the Zombie Barbecue. There's no pattern to this as of yet. It's just, I think I cast on 24 total stitches for the toe. It's kind of pointy. And worked my way up to 64.
So I like a 12-stitch toe. That's my go-to toe.
I think I usually do 14, but this time I couldn't remember, so I just did 12.
Are you doing a pattern, or are you just?
I don't know yet.
You're just winging it now?
I'm winging it right now. I may do one of my new favorites, which is the Yarnissimus Sock Man.
Oh, right.
That gives you that purled gusset.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So I'm not sure. I'm going to look into it. I was thinking of maybe doing some sort of slip stitch pattern, like the Flutter By or something else, but I'm not sure. So I'm doing an experiment. This is the Sport Mate, which is the Outlast.
Oh yeah, how does it feel?
It feels kind of soft and nice.
I mean, does it feel like it's warm?
It feels like I've been using it. Even when I just pick it up, it feels.
So I'll just touch the bottom of that.
You can't really judge. It's completely two different.
But I mean, I'm trying to
Yeah, that's definitely feel the difference here. You feel a coolness to that, and
it's definitely warmer. But you've just been holding it. Let me touch the ball.
That just sounds wrong.
Especially when I gesture like that. See, it feels cooler in the ball.
No, not to me. But my hands might be warm. It's kind of sticky today.
Well, I'm curious to hear how you review it when you're all done.
I'm excited because this is actually, I've worn a couple of my socks because at night it gets a little chilly. It's been chilly at night with the wind blowing. It's been dry. Let's put it that way.
Dry and cool.
Dry and cool. And I've been wearing some of my wool socks, some of my cotton wool socks that your mom made me. But try this because my toes get cold. And if my toes are cold,
we haven't run our AC since from 4 o'clock onwards because it's been so cool. You can just open your windows and run a fan and cool the whole house off.
My AC's not even installed yet, so.
I would die if that was the case at my house.
Once I decide if there's going to be a pattern to this, I'll definitely let you guys know. I just haven't decided yet. I want to see what other people have done with their zombie barbecue. And my second on the needles is the Color Affection Shawl by Vera Valimaki. I am doing this on US size 6 needles, which is 4 millimeters. My zombie barbecue, even though it's Sport Mate, which is sport weight, I'm doing it on size 1.5. I thought I was doing it on size 2, but it's a 1.5. I realized that the other day, but it's still, you can still kind of see through.
Yeah, it's not really, it's
not
really.
I wouldn't call it a sport weight.
I call it fingering.
Yeah. So, but if you can see, I don't know if you're going to see, probably can't see through it, but to me I really like a tight fabric so that it lasts a while. So that is that, and then this is a size US 6, which is 4 millimeters. I'm using Madeline Tosh Pashmina 80-10-10, which is 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% silk, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The colorway is Silver Fox, which is the gray, which is my main color. Thyme, which is the green, my secondary color, and Rose, which is the third color. So here is, let me show you the front. Here is my, there we go.
Looks good.
Yeah, so I've started on like 2 or 3 repeats. 1, 2, 3 repeats into the
final stripe.
The final section. And that's going to go all the way over here somewhere.
Yeah.
So it's going good. The short rows aren't bad. For the modifications that I'm using, I've had a couple of people ask. I'm knitting 1, yarn over, knit 1, and then you continue with the rest of the pattern as written. I'm trying to keep my strands as loose as possible going up. Somebody recommended just pulling them up from behind, which gives it a nice
that's what I
edge.
did on mine.
What I might do, because I am a tight knitter, is do like a yarn over in front just to help loosen it up a little bit more, and then still do the yarn over in between.
Another thing is to do a double yarn over.
I tried the double yarn over. I didn't like how that looked.
Some people have done a double yarn over. And I wish, well, mine blocked out fine, but I wish that I had done a double yarn over on mine. It was a little tight.
I think if I do the yarn over in the front, it'll be good, because I've been trying to do the yarn over my finger when I first knit the first stitch, but you can tighten that up fairly easily. So this has been mindless knitting. Even with the short rows, it's really good. And there's a method to the madness on the increases, but I am trying to keep track of it with my little yellow stitch marker, which you can't see.
On the third row, it was easy to keep track because it was like
on the second section.
On
this first stripe section.
No, well, the first stripe section was easy, but I found it easy on this one because it went like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's like you do an increase.
Basically, you do an increase on every color at some point.
Yeah.
But all I know is that after the second time I do the second color, the next time I run into that color, I do another increase. It's like there is a method to the madness. But what I'm liking is, look at the green section. You can see a couple of variances with the green. It would go light and then dark. It almost looks like 2 different skeins. Right here, there's some dark and lightness. It's really pretty. So I'm looking forward to it. I like it. I was listening to a book on CD the other day while I was knitting it. So
cool.
Those are my only 2 things on the dance card.
Wow.
I know.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm hoping. I can't promise I'll finish this, but I should get a good portion of it done. Well, yeah. So we're going to be taping late next week.
Yeah.
So there should be really no reason why I can't get most of it done.
Yeah, it should be pretty much done by. Mine went really quickly once I got onto that. That actually helps you speed up because the short rows make it seem faster for a while.
Yeah, because you're going. The first section is you're knitting up to like 20, and then you're doing what it tells you to do, and you're knitting back. So
yeah, so it goes a little. It seemed to jet right along.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just gonna spin that out so I could get to the end of a row. Okay. So you're done.
Yeah, I'm done on the dance card.
On the dance card for me, the first thing that I'm working on right now as we knit is I am doing a ruby slipper shawlette out of my hand spun, which is Fat Cat Knits, and I'm not 100% sure. I forgot to look it up. I'm pretty sure it's just merino, superwash merino, or BFL. It's one of those. Nothing fancy.
No, definitely not.
And it was the Wizard Island colorway, which I fractal spun, which is how I'm getting these gorgeous stripes. And
explain to them what fractal spinning is.
Fractal spinning, for those people that don't spin, fractal spinning is I got a braid and I pulled the braid in half, so I had one really long stripy piece of the braid, and I spun directly from that. And then the second braid I took and I split it into 3 smaller parts. So I had 3 skinny long pieces of the braid and 1 big fat one. So I spun one out of just the whole half, keeping the color. So I had really long colorways on that one. And then I spun the 3 skinny ones end to end. So I had shorter bursts of color. And applying the skinny ones with the big fat half one, it makes you get this.
Ooh.
And I had originally wanted to do this side-to-side knitting because I knew that it would really show off the striping, the gradient striping that you get. Yeah, it's going to be really pretty. So yeah, I've only been working on this since the incident on Friday with the decreases when Sheila tried to make me believe I was mentally ill.
Yeah, I had an issue with mine. I'll talk about it in the finished objects. But it tells you how, how do I say, not monotonous, but how in tune you just
how you can just do
have
this
it
without thinking, yeah. But it's funny. I cast it on because I had to. I did need to make a modification to the decreases in this pattern. It was not the modification that we
was on our
originally
test
out.
It didn't come out right. I'm like, oh, wait a minute.
It wasn't the one that Sheila was having a problem with, but I did need to add some stuff to it. So I cast on and then I decreased it and I just put some more notes into that. But then since I had already cast on, I was like, yeah, I'm going to just knit one because I had originally intended to do that.
Now you have 2 skeins of this? Or
no,
just
I just
one?
have the one.
Oh,
it's not going to be big.
Did you weigh it?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Because
making sure.
I weighed because I'm not using the right needle. I used whatever was lying by the couch when Sheila called me. And it happened to be this, which I think is a 5. I don't think it's a 4. And then this is hand spun, so it's, it's not really regular. Although you can tell in the middle of this, it gets more regular than it was at the very beginning. Because towards the middle of the spin, I spun better. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that. I think it's going to be really pretty when it comes out. It's not going to be horribly long, but it's going to be nice to tuck under my jacket, and I like that it shows off the fractal plying. It's kind of nice that I did the fractal plying, and that was the first time I did it, or fractal spinning, and then and now I'm knitting it up to see like how that works out when you knit it into a swatch. So kind of like completes the whole experiment. So is everything okay?
Yeah, we're just having a little tantrum.
Oh,
temper tantrum.
My kid?
Oh, mine.
Oh, I'm surprised because my kid's like out of control today.
No, he called my oldest one a female dog.
Wow.
And he's been having a habit of doing that lately, and I don't know where he got it from because we don't use that.
Well,
I know where he got it from. He got it from the neighborhood, but we don't use it, and I've told him several times not to. And
my kids haven't had sleep in weeks, and my son stayed up until 9:30, and he usually goes to bed at 7:15. So that's why he's a mess today. And he had a birthday party. It's a long story. So anyway, the ruby slipper shawlette in my hand spun, a photograph of that is going to be on the pattern. And I do hope to release the pattern either tonight or tomorrow night. Probably tomorrow night because I have so much to do before I leave that I don't know if I'm going to have time to sit down and finalize it tonight. But I can release it from my mom's house tomorrow. But it's coming out this week. So keep your eyes open for that.
Let me know too, so that I can link it to my pattern.
Yes, I will PM you when it comes out. So there's that. The second thing I have on the needles, which I worked on today for a bit, are my Loud and Proud socks.
Oh yeah, I forgot about those.
And they are knit out of Play at Life Saki Maki in their Loud and Proud colorway. And I have this much left on this one.
Pretty.
And I am a little bit more into the green. I decided I was going to put some cabling on the front. You can't really see it. I only did one. I'm going to do on each side, and when I get up a little bit higher, I'm just going to do one really big cable in the back, just for fun, on the green section, because I can do whatever I want on this since I'm just making it up as I go along. And
just to keep you from being bored.
Yeah, I have done almost all of this while I ride the bicycle at physical therapy or at my house. Because if you've ever had to ride a bike with no resistance, it's really boring. So I have a slip stitch little pattern there, and I did a little slip stitch pattern here. You can't really see it. And then the cable is right. There's going to be one here and one here. So it'll be kind of like
Oh yeah.
two pillars. And then I think I'm going to do a really big fat or a really fancy cable in the back for a little while. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because nobody looks at your socks. So yep, that's my Play at Life Socky Mucky, which you can get at Play at Life Fiber Arts, which is an Etsy store. And we picked this up at
the Massachusetts Sheep and Wool.
And it's in my Just Lou bag. My gnome bag. My happy gnome bag. So there's that. And then the third thing I have on the needles is the Creature Comforts cardigan by Madeline Tosh. It's $6 on Ravelry, and I am using US 8 5mm needles and Madeline Tosh Vintage in the Byzantine colorway. I did not work on it again, so I didn't bring it. You don't have to look at it. If you'd like to see what it looks like, go back like 3 episodes.
4 or 5 now, yeah.
It's too warm to knit on it. It's really heavy, and I haven't been able to roll it out lately, and I probably won't get to it even while I'm on my vacation because I have obligation knitting and a couple of other projects. So that's all that I have on the needles actively right now.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm just looking at my bag, my Ravelry bag. I don't know what I did with it, but I have some stains on it.
Oh, it looks like marker.
Yeah, well, with kids, it's always likely. It's always likely. I have a Rate Your Date.
Yay!
The Ruby Slipper Shawl by Wendy, Shawlette, scarf, however you'd like to call it, by Wendy Weber Deeds?
Yeah.
Okay. It's in the Blue Moon Fiber Arts, Her Royal Highness Princess Violetta fingering weight. It was their first socks at Rock Club, and I blocked this to an inch of its life.
Yeah, she blocked it really hard. I didn't block mine.
I wanted you guys to see
the lace.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where. Here we go.
There we go. The lace is really pretty.
It really is pretty. And there's points up above because I don't have any straight.
Yeah, I should have given you the
right.
blocking wires.
And so the issue that we were talking about is on the
decrease section.
Decrease section. I was just so in tune to having a yarn over in a certain location
before the last 2 stitches
that I kept doing it no matter what I kept doing.
She didn't realize she was doing it.
I didn't realize I was doing it. We were having an issue and I called Wendy. I said, I have 11 stitches, but I'm not coming out to where you said you need to. And even I did this
have an
twice.
Extra stitch in every row. Not on the first row.
No, not on the first row, but every other row after that for the final decrease. So then I actually cast on the 11 stitches that I needed, decreased it, and I said, why do I keep getting this wrong? Until I realized there was a hole. I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think there's supposed to be a hole because I kept doing a yarn over, but it was so automatic that I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Yeah, I knit this in the dark at my daughter's ballet recital this weekend because I am so, once you know how to do the edging, it's easy. It comes up really easily. But on my end of it, I got an email from Sheila at like 1 o'clock that said that she was coming out with the wrong number of stitches. And I had feedback from one of my testers that the lines for the decrease made it so that it was off by 1 stitch. I can't remember if it was too many or too little, but I had changed it before and I'd given her the changes. So I was like, oh, maybe I gave her like the old version and, like I thought it was wrong. Plus, on top of that, she had a problem with, is that?
That's where it is. I mean, it's so minute that I can't even tell when I'm looking at it.
I see what you did.
But I'm like, where is it? But this is where it is.
So the other problem is when I was like heavily medicated, Sheila had a problem with my sock thing and I didn't understand it because I was heavily medicated, and I was like, I don't get it. So I felt really bad. So this time I'm like, okay, if she had a problem, I'm going to be really make sure that I don't want to be like crazy about it. So I cast it on, and I did it, and it worked out fine. So I'm like, so I cast it on again, and this time I did like 4 points, and then I decreased it, and it came out fine. So then I called her, and I said, tell me exactly which pattern version. Like, read your patterns to me so I can make sure that I'm like not testing the one that's right and whatever. she reads it to me, and I'm like, I don't know, Sheila. I've knit this like 4 times, and it works. And she's like, no, I just knit it.
And I knit it 3 times, and it wasn't working until what I had to do is I had to cast on separate from it. And I saw where I was getting a hole, and I'm like, I don't think there's supposed to be a hole. And then I did it right, and I'm like, I was automatically putting a yarn over where there shouldn't have been. So automatically that I wasn't even thinking about the fact that I was
She didn't even realize it. So she gets off the phone with me, and I'm like, okay. So I rip out it, and I cast this on, and I knit 5 points.
That's somebody who's angry, telling us that he's angry.
Oh, is it? I wasn't sure if it was yours or mine.
No, that was mine.
I knew it was either Zachary or Lily, because Jack doesn't scream like that.
That was Zachary.
But so anyway, I cast on like this whole section up to here, and then I started decreasing it, and I was sitting there going, knit 1, knit 2. I was like saying it out loud, and I'm like, knit 3, yarn over, and I'm like, it still works. And then I was counting the stitches. She finally called me, and she's like, I realized it. I was putting yarn over it, and I was like, thank God, because I thought I was losing my mind. I spent
Wendy's
like
probably
2.5 hours on
Wendy's
it.
probably saying to herself, she's never test knitting any of my stuff again.
No, I thought
it was just so, and if anyone's done it, you all understand, it was just such an automatic response that I wasn't even thinking of what I was doing.
And see, the problem is, that happened to you, but that's the reason you have test knitters, because I've knit this so many different versions of this so many times, like to me it's just automatic. So that's why I was sitting there saying it out loud to myself, because I'm like, I have to really pay attention to make sure that I'm doing it right. And I was thinking I'm gonna have to like call up a third person and have them cast this on and do it so that they can we can see like an unbiased opinion, but then Sheila called me back.
What I did is I cast on a whole different color, and like I said, I just cast on 11 stitches. I did the decrease. I didn't even do the increases or anything. I just cast on 11 stitches, knit a few, did the decrease, saw immediately what was going on. And that's what you needed to do, because when you're doing the decrease, you follow through with what the rest of the knit is, so that when you're doing it, that extra yarn over doesn't look like that much. I mean, that really doesn't look that out of place.
No, it doesn't. You don't really notice it so much.
So
and then
I'm glad had to fix some other things with, because the way it was written when I finished it, I did not come off with the same amount of stitches.
I forgot a whole section of the pattern from my notes.
I mean, it came out fine.
Yeah. There were like 3 extra rows
to make it more
do.
symmetrical.
3 extra rows that I didn't put in. So I did. That was good that I had to go back and fix that anyway. So, but and then I did this. So it wasn't a waste.
Yeah, this is definitely one that I'll do again. And I was thinking about doing it for that Blue Moon Fiber Arts, but I have a different idea for that one.
But you know what's really funny is this is probably like the 800th time I've knit this, and this is such a good, easy knit. I'm going to take this on the... It's hot. I'm
not hot, but it certainly
I'm going to take this on the plane with me. This is my mindless knitting. This is what I knit in the dark in my daughter's recital. And I think this is going to end up being for me, and I might give the other one away.
Yeah, I think this will become a nice mindless knit. I think if I do this another time... I mean, I did block this very hard. I would certainly do 1 or 2 points, because if I block it that hard next time, it would actually make a nice long skinny scarf.
Yeah, no, I would. This one is actually, it's coming out different because I'm using a different needle size. Yeah, but I actually did 2 less points on this, but look how big it is.
Because it's
hand spun. It's really stretchy. So,
definitely a good knit.
But yeah, you can use any, as long as you weigh the yarn, which I put notes in there to make it clear. You can use any weight. You don't have to worry about gauge. If you want to knit the exact thing from the pattern, you need to make sure that your gauge is good.
And I spoke to my friend who was going to give me the other skein of yarn, and she mentioned it yesterday. I said, don't. She goes, it's there. I said, I know. I said, I just wanted to finish it so that, you know how something's just sitting there, you just want it done. Because that's like something on the needles that just keeps nagging at you. But,
yes.
And it worked out well.
Kind of like the Creature Comforts cardigan.
But it worked out well. It's a nice length.
Yes, hers came out much bigger than mine.
Because again, I blocked an inch of its life, and
I took mine off the blocking board to show it as a finished object here before it was all the way dry, so it didn't really block.
Yeah, if you put a nice pin, it would look nice.
Yeah. And I like to wear it. My favorite way to wear it is like this. I think it looks really pretty with the little pointies all out. You pull this over them and make all the edges look pointy. I think that looks really pretty.
That does look pretty on a nice coat.
Yeah.
Like if you had a nice black dress, like a blazer almost.
Yeah.
A nice black blazer with this.
It would look good.
It would look good. I mean, you could even...
You could just drape it like that. It looks
a nice dress.
Draped. Yeah.
A nice, like if you're going to a... it's not long enough, but if you're going to a wedding and you want just to snazz a color.
Yeah. Drape it around.
Yeah.
Or just wear it over your arms, like in the down low. You know how you wear it like down low? Like this.
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah. You can do that.
I'd be afraid I'd lose it.
Okay. But yes, there are lots of different ways to wear it. Do you have any other finished objects? Yeah, I like that way the best.
No. That's my only finished object.
All right. I have a finished object this week.
Oh, by the way, can you forward some of those pictures that you took of me?
Yes.
That way I don't have to do anymore.
I will, I'll put them all in my Flickr and you can just take them off my Flickr.
Sounds good.
So I finished the Color Affection shawl by Vera Valimaki, $5 on Ravelry. It was gifted to me by Dawn's Knits for my birthday.
Love the colors.
I love the colors. I'll tell you what, I loved knitting this. I loved the colors. And it's huge. It's really long.
Really long.
It's hard to see it, but it's long. It's more than 7 feet long. I don't really like the way it's hard to wear. Sheila came up with a way to wear it.
Well, I saw this on someone's picture.
She saw it. Like somebody had like maybe put the ends through.
I think it was the other way around, but
we think it was the other way around.
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. All the kids are outside today. Unfortunately, they're
so it could be worn that way. I was really more hoping for something that I could drape around me, and I added an extra. I should tell you the modifications I did. I did the yarn over modification at the edges, and my edge is fairly loose. You can see I did the little twisty thing. I don't know if you can see it, but I carried my yarn. It's really hard to see. So that you can see it a little bit, so that the edge twisted, the colors twisted around each other to give it that edge. It could have been a little looser. You can see there's a little bit of a curve to it.
all right. Yeah.
Feel it. If you feel this, you can feel it's a little bit tighter.
Oh yeah.
Edge than if you go to this edge.
This edge, because this only has the two.
Yeah. So I think I would do a triple yarn over or do something other thing. The only thing is, I was hoping to wear it differently. You can wear it like this. Sorry, it's so big. You can wear it like this. It gives good coverage. I guess if you wanted to, it's a little off center. You could do this, because it's got these really long points. So you could do that. Looks like old Mother Hubbard. I guess you could tie it pretty tight and do it sideways. Oh, that's not very attractive. Or you could, if you're that kind of person that likes to tie behind your back, like a shrug, which I do sometimes when I'm wearing a shawl and I don't want it to fall. I'll do this and I'll just wear it like that. I do that a lot. So that's great. I do wear a lot of shawls that way, but I'm just really disappointed there's no good way to wear it drapey around. I wanted something that I could wrap around, and I'll tell you why. The edge shape is, I don't know if it's too flat or it's too curved, but it doesn't drape well around your neck sideways. And there may be somebody out there who can figure out a way to do this so that it looks attractive, because I would really like to wear mine more
to the side.
Yeah. Also, it's just not wide enough
Right. If you pin it up here, it wouldn't be so bad.
Except that I have it's an odd shape to wear sideways like this. I think it needs to be straighter. I think the curve makes it I mean, that's not so bad. But then I have like a blob of... I was hoping it would be more... I wanted to wear it more like this. More drapey around. And it doesn't easily wear that way. So I'm a little disappointed in it in terms of... I think it's going to be difficult for me to wear and feel good about it. But I love my colors. And this was done out of Holiday Yarns in the flock sock base. And the...
Excuse me. The reason I'm the one getting up is because I'm
She's
the
by the
closest to
door. And I would have to climb over things. This gray section is called Charcoal. The blue that I used is called Bruised Ego. And it's sort of a blue with charcoal. You can see it. It has bits of charcoal into it. And then the dark color that I used is called Badger Black. And I adore the colors. And I had a ton of yarn left over. I just want to show you. This is the main color. And this is the color 2, the black, dark charcoal. And I had a ton of blue left over.
Which is the least,
which is the one that you use the least. I think, I don't know, I used a lot of the black.
You did extra on the
I did
right?
an extra repeat. I'll tell you, in section 2, the 3 color stripes, you're supposed to do 7 sets of 6 stripes, and I did 8 sets of 6. I did like another 6 stripes, so this much, an inch more.
Oh wow.
So that my, where is it? On this end, you can see that my 2 color section, is this the right end?
Yep, because it ends right here.
Yeah, it goes almost to the end. It would have stopped pretty much farther back. In retrospect, I wish that I had done this section bigger. So more repeats of the top section, maybe an inch more of the middle section, and just made it, I think that if I had made it longer, it would be even wider, which would be crazy, but then I would get that width that would let me drape it all the way around.
Right.
More like a blanket wrap than a Mother Hubbard type of shawl. So, but yeah, I enjoyed knitting it. I knit this fast. I knit this in just over a week.
Really?
I think so, because I cast it on, I think it was like a week and 2 days or something. Because I've been done with it for, I finished it on Friday. Pretty sure. I can't remember. I finished it. It did not take me much more than a week to knit this. It was fast. And I would definitely knit it again, but I would make it bigger. So 2 thumbs up. The pattern's really well written.
Yeah, it really is.
And, you know, in terms of modifying it,
it's easily modifiable.
Yeah, you really, the stitch count honestly doesn't matter that much.
Not really. You know, you can make it as long as you want it to be, or as wide as
I actually might decrease less and make it bigger so that it was less long, because I think that's like over 7 feet wide. And I didn't block it very hard. I took it off the blocker when it was still damp because I didn't want my kids to run around on top of it. It was in the basement. Oh. It was the only place I could block it where where it was big enough.
I block it on my bed and then put a fan on it so it dries quicker.
Yeah, I don't think I might have been able to get it to fit on my bed, but it's pretty big.
We have a king size.
Oh,
bed.
You have a king.
Yeah,
that's right. I have a queen.
And mine will be a little bigger because I'm doing it at a sport weight.
Yeah.
Even though I'm doing it on the same size needles, size 6, but
it's a little bit puffier. But yeah, it was a good knit. I would knit it again, but I would modify it.
I'm enjoying it. I like the colors.
Yeah, I do. I'm really happy with the colors. And I really like the base of that yarn. It was very nice to knit with.
So, Whirlwind Romance.
I have one, Whirlwind Romance. I've mentioned it a couple of times. I had the Loop Bullseye Bat and the Kaleidoscope Eyes colorway from the Completely Twisted and Arbitrary Spinners Spin Along, which I think was a couple of months ago. I happened to be reading the group when the pre-orders went live in the Loop shop, and I managed to get the bat. I got it with sparkle, and I spun it in one big hunk. I'll try to let you see all the colors in it. It's really pretty. So it is a gradient yarn. I spun it and I Navajo plied it, so it is a 3-ply fingering weight yarn. I got just a tad under 400 yards, and it's looking pretty good. It's still a teeny bit damp because I washed it last night. Let's see if I can get all the colors in there. It has some really pretty colors. There's like an aqua and a green, black, purple, and it has just a little bit of sparkle in it. And that was a lovely spin. I would definitely spin a loop bat again. The fiber prep made it really easy to spin it thin enough to do a 3-ply fingering weight. It had sparkle in it, but not so much that it like got all over your clothing and everything. I know some people have wondered about that. And it smells good. And the colors were gorgeous. Like the fiber was just like, it just flew out of your hand. I really didn't mind pulling from the center of the bat, but I know people have had problems with it, and I think that if you pull it gently, you have to pay attention to it. If you don't want to pay attention to pulling it out, it's better to pull it from the outside. It won't make a difference in the yarn. You'll just spin it, but the colors that you spin in will be different, but in the end it will look the same.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would definitely do it again. So that's Loop on Etsy, and the Bullseye bat. She does other preps too, but the Bullseye bat is the gradient one that she does. And I know she has a club that some people are in.
Oh.
So that if you're interested in being assured of getting one, because it was hard for me to get this one, definitely if you can join the club, because then you'll get one every month. And she does let you give color preferences so that you get something that you like, so that you're not getting something out of the, random whatever. But yeah, so that's my what do you call it? Whirlwind romance.
Oh.
I'm out of it today. So that's it for me on my whirlwind romance.
Okay, future dates. I have nothing new. I've cast on my sock. As soon as I finish the shawl, I'll cast on most likely the high-speed knitting shawl, which is another mindless one, and then the edge is ribbing. I think that's a free shawl.
Oh, cool.
With Zoberball, which is the long gradient colorways.
Yeah, that I did that spiral thing out of in the pink.
Yeah, mine's just one color.
My future dates, the secret knitting, I got the yarn that was custom dyed.
It's gorgeous.
It is. I love it. I keep looking at it. It looked pretty in the photo, and it looked pretty in the skein, and I caked it up, and it looks so good caked up that I told Sheila I don't even want to start knitting with it because it's so pretty to look at in the cake. So yeah, that is the main thing that I'm going to work on during my vacation. I have already written out most of the pattern. It's just a question of some details that I want to put in the middle that I haven't 100%. I have to see how it looks when I knit it to decide if I'm going to do that or not. But I have everything written up. I just have to get it on the needles. So I hate to break up that skein. It's so pretty. So yeah, I really love it. So I have that. Judy B by Kimberly Gintar. I am definitely going to cast that on before I leave today, and it's going to be in my Into the World Polworth Silk blend, which is a sport weight 2-ply. It calls for 750 yards. I think I have 700. So I'm going to make mine a little bit narrower, but you can do that by weighing the yarn because it's a similar construction to this. So yeah, I'm doing that. And I have written up one of the charts for the mittens that I'm designing. So that's on the back burner. I'm not actually knitting those yet. I'm just designing them, but I did work on that. Mm-hmm. And that's all I have for our future dates.
So we got crushes and heartbreaks next?
Yep.
Okay, my crush on heartbreak is school's out. So my oldest is going into middle school, and they have required reading that they have to do. And with this required reading, they have a worksheet that they have to fill out. So yesterday we went to the library. I returned some of my books that I had and picked out more picked out audiobooks, which I'll get to the audiobook in a minute. But anyways, he grabbed his book that he needed to read. He started reading it because I guess the teacher started reading it in class this past couple of weeks so that they could get interested in it. He's read this author before. I want to say it's Leo Spinelli, and the name of the book is Crash.
Yeah.
And it's about a bully who all of a sudden realizes what he's doing isn't really all that nice. And the name of the bully is Crash and how he gets it. Well, my son has already finished the book. So he's going to reread it and answer the questions because there's one question per chapter.
Yeah.
And my crush is the fact that he is such a reader like I am. But the heartbreak is he's such a reader like I am that we're instant gratification. We need to finish the book. We need to finish it now. That's my problem with reading is like I can't wait and just put it down and walk away unless I absolutely have to. He unfortunately has the same affliction as I do, but I couldn't help. We went out for lunch today because we needed a new toaster. So we went out and got a new toaster and went out for lunch. Him and I are reading while we're eating, and I just couldn't help but looking at him and thinking, hopefully, the required reading that he has to read throughout his school career, he'll be enthusiastic about all of it as well.
Yeah.
I know required reading isn't always that fun,
no.
but hopefully he'll enjoy it. But I'm
like
just
if
so
it's
glad.
Moby Dick.
Yeah, I'm just so glad that he really likes to read. But it's kind of funny because, again, like me, it's one of those that he had to finish it before he could do anything else.
Well, they say that if parents are into reading, kids will be into reading
Well,
too.
and I was into reading. When I had kids when they were younger, I couldn't read as much because you really have to focus on reading.
Yeah.
Like knitting, not so much, depending on what you're knitting. You can knit and keep an eye out around. Reading you can't because all of a sudden somebody's talking to you and you're like, what? I'm sorry? Because you're getting involved in the story. So now that they're older, I can get involved in reading again, and I'm so glad that I've passed that on to him. Cam, my husband's a big reader as well. So it's good. Now we just got to get Zachary into it, and I think he'll be a reader as well. It's going to take him a little bit of time because it's more difficult for him.
When he gets better at reading, he'll probably be into it.
He's very interested in it. He has the book called Judy Moody, Not So Bummer Summer, and he really enjoys it. It's going to take him a little bit because those words that a typical second grader would pick up, he doesn't.
Right.
So, but it's funny because I'm listening to this audiobook that I listened to in the car, and it's a romance. It's Judy Garwood or Julie Garwood. I can't remember. Julie Garwood. It's called The Wedding, I think. What I find funny, it's a male reader.
That is weird.
It's really weird. I haven't gotten into it. There's a little bit of romance into it, so it should be interesting to hear how he reads it.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering if they picked the male reader because it's more about a guy in this one.
Yeah.
Although they do both
just
points.
Seems odd.
It was really odd. I put it in and I'm like, oh, that's right. It's a male reader. It's different. I'll have to let you guys know next week how it is, but it's really weird listening to a male reader, and I'm wondering how it's going to be when it gets into some of the romance, how that situation's going to be. I mean, this is not a smut book at all, but it's just the romance part of it. But I'm hoping for the reason I like to listen to these audios is because it's Scottish. Yeah. And I love to listen to see how they do the brogue.
Yeah.
This guy's not doing so well. He's not doing anything. But anyways, the other thing, which is kind of funny, is I got a letter today from the mail before we came here, and I'm looking at it. It said to the parents of Zachary, it said this doctor's name, Quality of Life Clinic, and you can't help but have your heart skip a beat.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you mean quality of life? Do you guys know something that I don't know? But he's been cancer-free, gosh, he's 8, so 7 years. 7 years now? Because he's going to be 9. Yeah, I think 7 or 6 years. 2005. 7 years.
7 years.
So they decided to turn him over to what they call the Quality of Life Clinic instead of his regular oncologist, and it's just a yearly appointment. But this guy, I guess, gets booked far in advance. He's not due until February or March, but they want us to book now.
I see that he fills up 3 to 5 months.
Yeah.
Fiver.
I didn't even pay attention to that. Appointments generally fill up 3 to 5 months in advance.
I don't know why that just leaped out at me.
But who puts their header as quality of life clinic? I mean, that just
It's weird.
It is
sounds like
weird.
it sounds like when you go to the hospice care at the end of your life. That's what quality of life sounds like when you're ready to die.
But I think he'll do this maybe for the rest of his life. I mean, he is at a higher risk of cancer.
Yeah.
I am supposed to be getting some genetic testing done because with his type of liver cancer, they've found that he is prone a specific genetic predisposition to colon cancer.
Oh, yeah.
Something to that effect. So we want to get him genetically tested.
Yeah, I would.
Just so that we know what we could get into. And the fact that he's on all these meds could...
Because you just don't even know.
Well, he's prone to skin cancer as well because of his meds.
Yeah.
He's, immune and stuff
well,
like
and
that.
then just long-term being on medication.
Oh, please.
You
we
don't
know.
even know.
Well, we know that it's a lifelong thing with him. They say you trade one disease for another.
You just don't know what that could end up
Well,
being
I mean, the same thing as you hear about, all these medications that have been out for years, they're now saying, well, if you were on this during this, you should call this because it can cause this and this.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the medications they do know. We know long-term steroids.
Ooh, and did you get that thing I emailed you about?
I'm trying to read that. That's too medical.
Apparently, they've made some kind of a breakthrough, so you may want to ask your doctor if it has anything to do.
Well, we're actually seeing her on Thursday.
Ask her about it. Just print it out.
But I'm reading it.
I didn't read it because I was like,
because her husband sent her something regarding Zachary and his arthritis.
Childhood arthritis.
And said, would Sheila be interested? And I look at it and I'm like, oh my goodness, it's all medical. It goes right over my head. I'm like, I'm good, but I'm not that good.
You might want to just raise it with your doctor because I'm sure she'll know.
Yeah.
I didn't read it.
So those are my little crushes and heartbreaks.
Well, I'll be quick on mine. My usual heartbreak is my knee. And the reason I look all gross like this right now is because I came here directly from physical therapy today.
And I just look gross. Gross.
You don't look gross. So I had physical therapy. I've graduated to the weight machine for my legs. I do my whole body weight with one leg. I do these like body presses. I guess you move your whole body on like a thing. I don't know. And that's been really good. And
leg press, I think it's called. I think it's the leg press though.
They have another name for it there. You lie on your back and you put your feet on this big platform and you push backwards on this big square. I thought it was a leg press,
but I could be wrong.
That might be one thing. They call it something else there because they told me what it was, but then I forgot because my brain doesn't hold information very long. I don't know. And I'm just like, it's so bad when you're there because it hurts so bad. I did a little bit too much spinning this weekend to finish and my hamstring was really tight and that hurt so bad. The good news is when I do have that done, though, it fixes my leg for like a week. So, I'm glad that I am, and it's free. My insurance is paying for my PT. So I'm glad that I have that. I'm glad that I can go in and have them like relax all the muscles that get weird. And I do feel like I'm making improvement. A lot of the time this week when I was trying to fire my quadriceps muscle, I could feel it firing. So it is getting better. It feels less like alien. It's starting to work better. So I guess I feel better. And I'm doing a lot of work now with my legs, things that are more like weight added. So I think that means that soon I'll be able to go back to cardio. Hopefully after I see my doctor in July. I'm going to see my doctor for the 3-month follow-up.
Oh, wow.
In a few more weeks. Yeah, it's been almost 3 months. Well, actually, it's 2.5 months. I don't know. Whatever. I'm going to see him sometime in July. And I think it's my 3-month follow-up. So I'm looking forward to that. So, I guess that's a crush and a heartbreak. My heartbreak is that I am leaving on my vacation tomorrow. I have to leave my house at 5 a.m. My flight is at 7. I did 2 giant loads of my laundry. I have no clean clothes. And part of the reason this is all crazy looking is because this was still wet when I put it on this morning. Because my husband failed to mention to me that the dryer hasn't been working for the past few days. So when I go down to do a load of laundry, I'm like, it's drying and drying for like an hour, and I go down and it's like damp. And I found out at like 1:30, 2, and I called my husband and we thought maybe that the lint thing was full because it does that sometimes. So I waited for him to get home. We pulled it all apart. It did have a ton of lint in it. We hadn't cleaned it in a couple of years. You really got to clean it out a lot.
You should clean it like every year.
Yeah, you should. There was a ton in there. I mean, it wasn't like dangerously bad, but there was a ton in there. So we cleaned it out and put it back together. And it felt like it was heating up a little bit. So I was like, oh, good, it fixed it. But no, my dryer's broken. The heating element needs to be replaced. Only we didn't know this until 8 p.m. last night. So I couldn't call the repairman last night. I couldn't call the repairman to come today yet because I had to go to PT in the morning and then I had to come over here. So I have 2 giant loads of laundry. One of them is in the washing machine. One of them is in the dryer. I have a third load that I tried that was mostly dry but damp that's on the folding table. So 3 giant loads of laundry that I have to take to the laundromat tonight. So I've had a very stressful day. I'm going to call the repairman. Fortunately, the repair shop is like literally...
Oh, yeah, right down the street.
It's Gray's Appliance. Yeah. It's like literally 5 blocks from my house. So it's possible that they might have somebody able to come out this afternoon and fix it after I get home from here. But I'm not holding out hope. So yeah, that's my heartbreak. That dryer's only 6 years old.
It happens, especially with the abuse we put it in.
I know, that's true. I do a lot of
I have a Maytag that's making a loud noise. I have somebody hopefully coming tomorrow to look at the house for something. I'm going to see if he can look. I think I know what it is, but I don't want to deal. I can fix my dryers and washes myself with YouTube and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't want to deal with it.
Mine is so new, 6 years. I think it's still under warranty for a lot of parts. So,
okay.
And Gray's will come out and fix it if it's under warranty. So
there you go.
That's why I'm going to just have them do it. But we know, based on what we've read from the manual, that it's the thermostat, the heating element, or a fuse. It's one of those 3 things is broken. They can all be replaced. It's not going to cost a fortune. And we could do it ourselves, but Gray's Appliance will do it. So that's it. Baubles and Bling.
I have a bottle, but I've kind of already told you what it is. I bought Lorna's Laces, the Sport Mate, which is 70% superwash merino wool, 30% Outlast viscose. Is that how they pronounce it?
Yeah, viscose.
So it's 270 yards. 2 skeins will make a pair of socks. Here is what it looks like in 1 skein.
Pretty.
It's called Zombie. See, I can't even say zombie right. Zombie barbecue. Barbecue. So Zombie Barbecue, this is what it looks like balled up, because lately, for some reason, I've just been balling my yarn, mostly because I'm at work while I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And this is what it looks like knit up. I got this from Jimmy Bean's Wool.
They have good customer
service. They have fantastic customer service, because I told you guys last week I was an idiot.
She made a mistake.
And I only ordered 1 skein. Well, 1 skein's not going to get me a pair of footies, personally, but... and I emailed them, and they added it, and they confirmed it with PayPal and everything. So this is
it right up.
Yep. And this is a little brighter. It should be interesting to see how they work out to be.
Yeah.
In the different skeins, but I really like it. It was it's a little expensive, I will admit to that.
But it's that heat.
It's the one that controls your temperature. Won't let you
temperature control. There we go.
Won't let you get too hot or won't let you get too cold. Supposedly. We'll see. So that's why I've always been tempted to do this. I'm glad I got the sport weight because, as we said, it seems a little light. It seems more fingering weight than sport weight.
It does.
Yeah. Here's the 2. The pink on the closer to my hand is the Pashmina. And then the red from the Zombie Barbecue. It's slightly thicker, just slightly. Can't really see it here, but... it's just a hair width thicker. But I'm excited, and I'm glad to get this because I needed a mindless knit with the summer coming and boys doing various projects and all that kind of good stuff. Cool. So that's the only Baubles and Bling that I have.
I have 2 things. It is Into the World Club time.
God, my stuff off. There we go.
This month is Fierce and Flawless. This is the 3rd in a series of 4 Serenity themed colorways. And it is on BFL top, 100% BFL top. And I'm just going to take it out of the plastic bag real quick because it's hard to see the colors through the plastic. Okay, well, obviously I did that wrong. What did I do? I like snarled. I'm trying to hurry because we're getting close to the end of our time. And I like snarled this into a giant knot. There we go. All right, so I love it. It is so
Oh, that's pretty.
vibrant. You can't really see it as well in the package, but it's just gorgeous.
I bet you no, she does the yarn and the fiber, right? I
Yes,
bet
the
you
yarn is
looks
beautiful.
gorgeous.
Yes, I get the double dose, so I have 8 ounces of this. This will be the first thing on my wheel for Tour de Fleece.
Oh.
And I am going to spin it. I'm going to spin it as a 2-ply, and I think I'm going to Navajo ply it to keep the color runs together. So that's the first thing. The second thing is I treated myself to this book, the Fleece and Fiber Source Book. 200 different fibers in here from animal to spun yarn. And I'm not going to go into the whole thing of this, but it tells you about all the different kinds of wool. It tells you how to prep them, the best way to spin them, how they knit up, how they weave up, and all about the animal breeds. And it's just a really good book to look into if you're trying to spin different fibers. And that's why I got it, because I know during Tour de Fleece I'm going to be spinning some Romney and some Wensleydale and some Shetland. I've never spun those before. They're more unusual bases. And this will help me get some ideas, since I'm a new spinner, about how I should handle them. And I got that from Amazon.com. So those are my Baubles and Bling.
Okay. Gossip and Innuendo. Again, we're recording late next week, either Thursday or Friday, due to the fact that Wendy's going to be away.
Yeah.
So you won't see us, sorry, all of a sudden itchy nose, won't see us for a little while. The close of the knit along is on June 30th. And what I was wondering if you guys could give us just an idea of what you might want to do for another knit along.
Yeah, we should have a thread where people tell us.
Give us a suggestion of what you would like for knit along. It doesn't have to be anything specific. It could be a technique. It could be all shawls, which we've already done.
It could be a project, a specific project, whatever you guys are interested in right now.
Yeah, so let us know. And that's all I have for my gossip and innuendo.
And the only thing I wanted to do was remind people that the Knit and Crochet Guild of America, TKCGA, is having their annual event in Manchester, New Hampshire on June 27th to July 1st at the Radisson Hotel in Manchester. I think they're calling it Chain Link. They will have classes, and they will have vendors and also exhibits of members' projects that they've done. Cool. I've gone to the shopping part of it several times, 3 or 4 times, and they have some good vendors there. It's not huge. I guess to give you an idea of size, it's bigger than Spa. Smaller than Mass Sheep and Wool.
Oh, all right.
So it's in between those two. So yeah, I might go if I can get somebody to go with me. But I would probably be going on the Friday during that time period, since I don't have kids.
Yeah, and I'll have both my kids.
Yeah, so
on that note, if you're watching and want to catch the show notes, go to knitoneheart2.blogspot.com. Any of our contact information is there too, with the contact button right above my head. Stop picking my nose. Cafe Press Store, donation button, and Ravelry group, all on that side. If you're listening and watching, through iTunes, please leave a star rating or a comment for any of the podcasts you watch or listen to, because they're much appreciated. So on that note, hope you're enjoying your summer.
Yeah.
Knit with heart. And have a good week.
Bye.